Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Endless Space 2. So, I think we're getting close to the point where I want to actually run this. We're starting to see some real ships from the enemy empires. And of course, the better our troops are, the less we have to worry about sieging down, and the less we have to be afraid of the fact that our fleets are mostly running around with not full manpower. In fact, a lot of our ships haven't been back to friendly territory in an extremely long time, and we're basically only getting new manpower into our fleets by building ships and sending those ships with manpower on them out to meet the fleets. So improvements to our troops are still really, really important. But we currently have an empire population of 260, which means that we're looking at 520, 1000. We're looking at 1,040 influence per turn to keep this running. Now, we could cut some of the stuff we're running right now. I do not think it would be a good idea to drop us or them, but we could cut the Spoils of War Act and reclaim 520. That's still not really close. We'd be able to run that law for maybe 10 turns. It's not going to do it. It turns out we still really need a whole lot more influence. Alright, well, let's see what we can do about that. We still have buildings we can build somewhere, I assume. Okay, we're still getting microwave pipes done in some places. That's definitely a good source of influence. We need to be reading about plus 500 before I'll be comfortable swapping out the Although I guess we could cut the Spoils of War Act and just leave the slot empty for a while. Really accumulate stuff quickly, influence quickly, and then go into deficit mode. Because we're not really fighting enemy ship groups that are that large, so we're not getting a huge amount of payment out of this. It is reducing the cost of running our fleets, but we have a ton of dust. Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to cut this. We're going to bank for a little while, and then maybe we can bring in the big weapons, big killing law in the near future. What is this? Okay, a Lumeris logistics ship. That's definitely gone. I don't know why they thought that was going to be okay. Alright, I think I probably don't need to bring this fleet over to help with the invasion, right? This is going fine. So we're still just trying to figure out where the heck the Horatio homeworld could even be. Oh hey, that's green right there, actually. Okay, maybe this ship will reveal something interesting. I doubt the Horatio homeworld's going to end up being this close to Xanados, but I suppose it's not impossible. Alright, everybody is where they are because they're where they need to be, or they've completely run out of movement, right? Yeah, okay. And over on Viacherus, we still have some stuff to do. Well, we should probably go ahead and fix this anomaly. There's no reason for this thing to be negatively impacting our science. And then after that, we're not population capped, but we're doing pretty well on population here. And we do need to keep building ships. Basically, every turn where I can't just start another Annihilator, I'm thinking I should be doing Chain Gang program. Where is this one headed? I probably had a plan for this, but I have no idea what it would have been. Hey, you know what? Head this way. We'll figure out once you get over here. They really are quite fast, aren't they? Also, the wormholes help. So is there anything crazy going on over here? I know we had some situations on this side. It looks like they're really dedicated to trying to get Ingress back. Do we have the dust to rush this? Wow, we extremely don't. Not even close. Well, I think Ingress is in a pretty good spot manpower-wise, or defense power-wise. I guess that's not... There's no improvements to our defensive systems here. I think we should be safe against getting taken over. I hope. We have an Annihilator coming from Bonnie soon. Yeah, it would be a bummer to go to all the trouble of building adaptive fleet systems and then have the planet get taken over. Alright, and we're just a few turns out on this. Okay, I think we're good. The problem with the galaxy right now, the state of the galaxy, our status in the galaxy, is that there just are not enough Annihilators out here. So that's something we gotta solve. We discovered Auriga. Okay, well, that's not really that interesting. Sure. What's down here? We still have a lot of these Lumeris fleets that are just like a ton of small attackers running around. Not, I think, very dangerous to us. We've explored 80% of the galaxy, which is unusually large. Tends to be the case that the game ends long before we get to this point. Well, I'm going to hit the button, but we all know what's going to happen here. He's just going to retreat. Okay, so that's finished. We're being attacked by pirates at Muzis. Pirate mark has been placed on Liesel. I'm not too worried about that. Obviously, we can't leave just yet. What on earth have you guys been building all this time? This is your home system. How did you only get this much stuff done? This is why the AI has so much trouble. It gets into these situations. Like, what has it been building? Has it just been swapping its planetary specializations back and forth? Or, like... It's hard to imagine. Hard to imagine what they have all been up to. Alright, let's swap over to that. Try to get some stuff done. Colonial exchange... I guess. Yeah, they were going for the economic victory, right? I think they're going to have a very hard time completing it. We've done a significant amount of economic damage to this alliance. So it's looking more and more to me like we're not going to find either the Horatio home system or a connection through to the Horatio home system on this side. So I am going to have these guys come around. We'll sit in orbit around Liesel for a little bit until we get things a little bit more developed, until we're a little secure. Alright, we're still advancing on Juyin. After we take Juyin, we could potentially just go for a truce with these guys. We don't really need this particular war to maintain our approval, I don't think. I'm actually not sure how this works. Is this considered to be 3 wars for the purpose of Jingoist Joy? Let's see if we can get a read on... it does not say Jingoist Joy specifically. It says 150 approval from approval per war. And I believe that is the only thing that is giving us approval per war, right? Was there a... No, there wasn't anything else that we picked up that does that, right? No, okay. So it's telling us we are currently engaged in 6 wars. What is the... Just pressing buttons at random. That is consistent with this being 3 wars, right? We're not at war with any minor factions anymore. So, yeah, we would drop 45 approval from trucing out with these guys. It's probably worth it to just keep it running. It's not like they're very dangerous to us. This was not helpful. I guess we'll attack here because why not, but this is not a place that it is useful for us to be in. Yeah, no big surprise. Run away, sacrifice the little guy. Let's head through here. This could be the Horatio home system, right? I mean, the influence bubbles in this area are pretty big. I think we're going to run into it soon. And we know where the Vine network is now, so we at least have the direction of the Unfallen home system. It looks to me like we're going to be constantly annoyed by enemy ships striking deep into our into the heart of our empire, so I'm gonna start building impervious bunkers everywhere, I think. Here on Galter, that's a little slower than I would like. Let's see, Esh is probably not the place where we need to build the Annihilator. It probably makes the most sense to build it here. And this will be an internal combat Annihilator. Just use it to, like, push out these ships. It can hang around the home block. Here on Ine, But we do need to start putting up Craver Dark Ops on systems where we're building ships. Do we have that on Viesheris already? Yes, we do. Okay, good. Ina's probably not a shipbuilding system, I suppose. I'm setting myself up to have to just give a bunch of production orders next turn. You know what? For now, a lot of these systems I think are going to go into Planet Cracker mode. The earlier we can get Might of the Endless, the better, right? We can chain gang program because we're population capped here. Kran and Muzis. Muzis still has a ton of stuff to build. We definitely want that. I feel like we're always short on Adamantian. It might be a good idea for us to pick up some more Adamantian generation. Alright, do these things and we'll figure it out. Where are we getting our Adamantium? Let's make sure that all of the planets that we're mining that from are actually set up correctly. Yeah, like this, we probably should switch this over to Slag and Sludge. Ingress. Okay, you're on Slag and Sludge already. This is probably actually not the way I should be doing this. Oh, I was going to change this to Geo-Industrial plants, but it should probably be a Slag and Sludge Center. Speaking of resources, somebody pointed out that I've been mining Quadronix at an incredible rate, and I haven't been using it, and now we have 300. So after we finish Might of the Endless, it is probably a good time for us to turn to some of that top-tier weapons technology. I almost never use that stuff, because the game is over by the time that you get access to it, under most circumstances. What do I want to do here? We're titanium light. Honestly, at the rate we run out of titanium, maybe I should switch all the titanium planets to Slag and Sludge as well. Here, the way a smart person would do that is probably this. Show me these planets. Okay. We do need a lot of influence as well, though. Yeah, I probably should not switch high population worlds over to this. Is there stuff available on the market? Not really. Our titanium mining rate is good, it's just that the ships are made out of a lot of it. Yeah, you know what, it's fine. It's fine, I shouldn't switch over a bunch of stuff because we're trying to accumulate influence. So did I actually... Yeah, I gave everybody stuff to build. We have some scout ships coming in that I'm definitely not actually concerned with. Alright, I think we're good here. I think we're good to move to the next turn. We do need to get deeper into this. Is this Prowler... I think it's moving that way. Isn't this the position that it was in at the beginning of the video, though? Maybe not. Maybe I'm conflating two different memories, probably. I'm gonna sit here and watch it as we press this button just to be sure. Okay. I'm hoping we're going to find that home system right here. That'd be really convenient if we found it with the Annihilator fleet that we're going to use to destroy it. Okay, stuff is happening at an incredible rate. Something that just happened generated the "you are close to achieving victory" thing. Was that 6 times? I mean, obviously, part of what happened here is that an alliance was formed. Weird. The AI did a bunch of changes behind the scenes, and for some reason, it pushed me over the notification threshold a lot. Like, many, many times. Really, you're so close. So close. We're gonna have real commander skills any moment now. You know, I wish there was a way to set up some kind of automated defenses. Because it's annoying to have to worry about, like, all of the borders and bottlenecks in our empire. Our empire's huge. I don't really want a lot of ships running around in it. Let's cut these guys off. They'll have nowhere to run, so they'll just, they'll die retreating from us, which is good. Hold on, I'll deal with this in a second. So we're close on that. You guys are coming. I think I want to hang out on Liesel for a minute. We do have some garbage ships, though, that we could pull out of this stack. Do a little bit of scouting with. Try to see what else the Lumeris have to that they could bring to bear. Once these ships arrive, I think maybe we take Polaris too. That might be worth doing. Alright, new hero. What are the skills of a counselor? Oh yeah, they have this thing. You would not be a political leader? Yeah, you're a militarist. That's a shame. The skill is pretty powerful if they are a political leader. It's possible that what we really want here is just another Guardian, though. We have a lot of ships out in space right now. Yeah, I'm gonna take another Guardian. The state of our systems is just fine. We have too many fleets running around without leadership here. So let's go fleet health and this. All right. This is one of my systems, technically, so despite the fact that there's no way for this new hire to actually get over here, we can just snap him onto the system right there. We should probably take a quick look at his ship, because it's... yeah, it's really out of date. That was my concern. Well, we can apply some of these nice antimatter defensive modules. Big energy defense capabilities... I would rather do some of this. Projectile defense and energy defense and shield, but Adamantium's kind of precious right now. That said, this is a one-time equip. Okay, probably no room on this ship for a blast effect battery. Let's take a look at the weapon modules we have available right now. So yeah, I think I do want to go with some of these nice antimatter energy weapons that we've built. We certainly have the antimatter to spare. Although this ship could equip a surprising number of boarding pod launchers. Is that what I should do instead? Because this is kind of like a shocking number of boarding pods, isn't it? It's possible that I'm misunderstanding the scale of these ships. And then, I mean, we could do some of this, right? Okay, that's like a pretty good ship, I guess. It's a little silly, but... if any enemies have... If it turns out that the enemies do just have way too many flak weapons for us to easily get boarding pods through, my solution apparently will just be to use so many boarding pods that they can't all be shot down. I wish there was a way to queue up like a single turn of planet cracking. Because I don't really need this place to be full-on planet crack. I guess we can chain gang again as long as the population here is full. Try to generate enough manpower to pump out some more Annihilators, because the Annihilators really are just terrifying. And a lot of these internal systems, we should probably get this done. And then a lot of these internal systems can just be full-time science planets. Alright, Ingress finished the thing it was doing. Let's queue up one of these. The Annihilators require 16 titanium, so we make exactly enough titanium every turn to create an Annihilator. We should probably figure out a plan for making it the case that for making a big ship that we don't have to pay so much titanium for. Something basic that can fill in on those turns when we just can't afford to do the other thing. Now let's get those built. Over here on Bari, let's make sure that we do have impervious bunkers, because apparently there's going to be enemy ships flying around just 100% of the time. This is part of why I like to actually eliminate factions when I have the opportunity to beat them, because it means you don't have to deal with so much nonsense flying around and harassing you forever and ever. We are actually not fully ecstatic. Do I want to pull these guys out of this hangar? It's kind of a lot of enemies running around. It might be unwise. Also, I don't know what you guys are thinking, but you're definitely not allowed to run fleets through there. Trade companies. And our rate of gigalattice mining is still so low. And we're not even actually pulling any in here. You know, drift buds are actually pretty good. Why don't we go ahead and focus this trade company, as we have with our others, largely on luxury goods. We're pulling in drift buds with any of the others? We are not. At some point, we're going to want to do some level 4 modernizations. One presumes. Alright, I don't actually want to engage here. If they're not going to attack us, we'll just hold the fort until the Annihilator arrives. Alright, so have we missed anything? No, everybody's running. How many turns are left on this? A few. And is this the fleet that has the battleship? It is. Or the dreadnought, rather. This dreadnought is mostly... It's showing us mostly being projectile focused, but then its weaponry is mostly medium range effective? How could that be the case? Oh, because it's fighters and bombers. It's projectile fighters and bombers. That's why. That may be very good for us. We might be able to take that dreadnought over. Do we have any ships? No, we just have the one. Just the one Annihilator that's shooting boarding pods. Well, who knows? Maybe that'll work out. I don't think we're going to be able to avoid that fight. We juked around them a little bit earlier, but we kind of need to stay in place and finish this off. The good news is we're making real, serious progress toward our supremacy goal. The bad news is it's already after when I usually would have liked to win the game. Things are not going totally ideally. Oh, have I? Would you look at that? Okay, let's run this imposer off real quick. This will be the Sheridan fight. All right, that's going to be interesting. We're going to devote some attention to that. Oh, I did this, I guess. Yeah, wasn't something I was working on actively. He just retreated. So we're going to actually be very bad at sieging this. We don't have enough siege modules. However, this fleet does have full manpower. Maybe we just go? It might be the case that we should just kill them. It really extremely does not matter what I picked there. There's no way they're actually fighting us. Are we one turn away from sieging that? Okay, excellent. So, at this moment, we are 5 out of 9 with 2 home systems actively under siege and 1 about to be actively under siege. We're getting very, very close. We are stretching things a little bit. It's getting harder and harder to hold all of this territory easily. Harder is maybe not the right word. It's just requiring more effort. Difficulty and effort are not the same thing. It's a very easy mistake to make, especially given the way that our language is crafted, but there is a difference. Alright, I'm just going to bring in another full Annihilator worth of manpower, and I think we might just drop on Mizar and try to force them out. Our troops are really powerful. Are we all the way down the armor line? We are, okay. Yeah, our troops are fantastic. We might be able to just fight them out. Okay, I think this is the back end of that ship, so... let us be ready to greet them. I believe that these two butchers will be able to take that whole fleet. I think that shouldn't be a problem. And once again, we need siege ships. Unfortunately, we can't really afford a lot of titanium. Let me have a look at something here. If we make some nice small worker class ships, it's actually quite cheap. I should probably put an engine on it. Alright, hold on. What about if we go to... I never researched the medium size... shoot. Yeah, Marauders, okay. Yeah, we'll just put together some worker class siege ships. Of course, this is a very, very familiar process. We've seen this on a number of playthroughs. Put in the good engine. Of course, it goes on the back. That's very important to me for some reason. I'm going to give them laser weapons. I'm going to give them crew-killing laser weapons. Again, part of this is to hopefully draw the enemy's defenses over to worrying about energy weapons, because these ships will not do a huge amount of damage on their own. And then we're just going to use the best non-strategic defenses, probably. Do that thing. Okay, let's have Ash pump a bunch of these out. They're not super fast. How many can I do in one turn? Alright, let's make this many, and we'll see what I want to do next turn. We can head them toward the Horatio conflict. We should actually get an eye on the status of Ingress before we decide what we're building here. Alright, so let's launch the Cordyceps. Merge these two together. And how do I feel about that battle? What I like about this is that we will minimize the number of ships that they lose, but I don't really want to lose my own ships either. If I attack them with this fleet, what are the odds they just run? I want to trick them into actually fighting us. They'll run if we attack them with a huge fleet. They probably run from this too. Yeah, okay. I suppose that's a reasonable thing to do. Okay, I don't actually want this fleet to stick around here, though. Let's pull one of you guys out. There we go. So this is now kind of an expeditionary fleet, and the 26.1 is the permanent defensive Ingress. So what I really want to do here is build Annihilators. We build them quickly and they get a ton of bonus XP. So in the meantime, let's see, we're at population cap. I guess we can chain gang. It's pretty much how it's going to be everywhere. We're at population cap, I guess let's chain gang. Oh wow, you still have like a lot of actual stuff to build. This should go before Optics Research Labs. And actually, this should maybe go before any of that. Okay, Cran. Honestly, Cran might just become a science system. It's well defended. I'm not worried about us getting killed out here. I don't think they can take us in a ground battle, so I don't feel the need to stretch super hard to defend it. Or worry about building ships there or anything. For now, Bonnie can become a science facility as well. Yeah, unfortunately, pumping out more ships is probably not even going to be that helpful. At least pumping out more ships over here. Because this is just... well, I guess this is a matter of how this battle goes. But a lot of the other stuff we're doing is so far away from the home systems. They have a pretty impressive garrison over here on Julian. I'm not sure how well this is going to go. We do have some siege marauders, but we're going to need to get an annihilator or two over here pretty quickly. Actually, maybe that's what this one should be doing. Head in this direction. Alright. So I think that's pretty much everything. Let's go figure out this battle now. So what we're seeing from them is ballistic fighters and bombers. Our defenses are pretty split. That's actually probably an okay thing here. Largely bullet-based battleship and an escort ship that probably has no relevance to the battle at all. But they're going to want to try to go to short range on us, so we should prudent positions. I'm going to move the Annihilator out to one of the sides in the hopes that it will maintain a good firing arc for the whole battle. There's something to be said for having it in the middle to intercept their dreadnought, but I don't know where... They might run the dreadnought up here. I'm going to run this up here. We'll split these all over the place. If the boarding pod thing isn't working, I want to make sure we have torpedoes coming from all of the other flotillas. And this is definitely worth watching. This is going to be... This is the last gasp of the United Empire. As far as opposing us goes, if they can't take us with their dreadnought, they just can't take us. And we got a large ship to large ship matchup, which I think is really good. I think that favors us a lot, because we'll be able to remove their large ship relatively quickly. Unless it turns out that these fighters and bombers are like really incredible. But honestly, with their fleet being so tilted toward fighters, it's hard for me to imagine they'll be able to do damage to us quickly enough. If that was all bombers, that would be a different story. I'd be much more worried. Alright, this is the part I want to watch. Here they come. Now this flotilla has basically no bullet weapons. All of the boarding pods make shipfall. And yeah, we're gonna have these guys take it over before the bombers even get to us. I assume that the bombers will not stop just because the dreadnought's been taken over. But we do have flak weapons on some of our ships, so we actually will take those bombers down eventually. Oh wow, it's over already. I guess the other flotillas did their thing while we weren't watching. Well, that's the end of the UE then. Not only was the dreadnought insufficient to stop us, now we have it. Now it's our dreadnought, and it will stand guard over the husk of Omdor. Are you kidding me? It's turn 124, and you don't have colonies on all of the planets in your home system? Ah, man. Comprehensive AI pass. It's just, they need a little love. That's alright. That's a thing that is probably doable. So I think this turn is the turn that the two fleets meet up at the Lumaris homeworld. Alright, start sieging. Absolutely not. In no universe am I willing to accept peace treaties. Okay, we have some population-based quest here. Well, you know what? Actually, Strat Recycler is a good source of titanium. Produce 5,700... Okay, yeah. Strat Recycler is a source of titanium, and we have to do absolutely nothing to earn it. It's a good combination of qualities. So what are we going to do with you? We probably don't really need to continue to improve approval on your system. I guess yeah, food? It's kind of an unimpressive hero at this point. Definitely no truce. Alright, a bunch of random pirates. Okay, didn't manage to take any of them over before they all exploded. And yeah, we have 1 million empty production queues, and here, a Spectre. Well, the Annihilator that I sent after us is not going to be here for a long time. And the Spectre's running alongside a 6,000, well, more than 5,000 offense medium ship. We have some pretty scary stuff. There are 4 Butchers in this fleet. These pretty much all bullet weapons, which is really bad for us. Actually, this battle would be embarrassing. We would get totally trashed. We should probably fall back and meet up with the Annihilator. Wait a minute. Hold on. These are maximally effective at close range projectile weapons, but they're not bullet weapons, are they? Because I believe bullet weapons are at 85% effectiveness at close range. Right? Isn't that the case? Those are, yeah. What we're seeing from them, 100% effectiveness at close range, that's not normal bullet weapons, that's railguns. And railguns don't have a flak damage value. So actually, maybe we'd be fine here. Right, the flak damage value is, yeah, reported separately in its own section. So actually, they probably wouldn't win this fight then. They can railgun us through our defenses, but they won't be able to outdamage us, I think. This thing is reported as having a very abstracted damage value of 6,100, which is actually not as good as our Butchers combined, not even close. We might be able to win this fight. I don't know, I'll think about it. We'll come back to it. You are probably not going to find anything terribly interesting, but I didn't have anything else to do with you. Man, the center of the galaxy is a weird place in terms of ownership. It's just like kind of divided up between a bunch of people who sort of don't like each other, but have really, really come together. I'm almost proud of them over their hatred of me. Alright, let's figure out what we're doing in all these. So, Ingress. Ingress is a place where I would love to produce an Annihilator. Unfortunately, we have no manpower. Xanados has some actual stuff that's worth building still, I think. Yeah. Can do that for now. Over here on Esh, we built all these siege ships. Let's get those out. And then... do I want to maybe just build another turn's worth of siege ships? Apparently in that last turn, we had a lot of production rollover from something. So yeah, this is a bunch of terrible ships. Let's run these guys out of here. We do like to be at long range. So I think I'm going to take this. It's not totally awesome. But it's the only combat tactics card we have that puts the flotillas at medium range, where I want them to be. Or long range, rather. Okay, we're down to 4 turns on Might of the Endless. We're getting pretty close to a point where I'd feel comfortable running, You know what? Let's turn this on for right now, and we'll go ahead and try this battle on the Riftborn. I think that might be enough to push us over the top here. Also, boy, our Empire sure is gaining population at an incredible rate. Those are some expensive laws. Yeah, let's try this. Now that I've realized they're railgunning, more than using bullet weapons, I feel a lot more secure. The Slicers are still, like, remarkably bad ships. These are completely not upgraded Slicers. Okay, so we want to make sure that we get the long range as much as possible. Plus 75% shield absorption is not a good move when they're ignoring our defenses. So we probably just do prudent positions. This works on their weapons just as well as it works on ours. Their defenses are all projectile defenses, and I'm still not 100% sure how energy and projectile defense work. If it's a flat damage reduction that is applied after the percentage damage reduction from prudent positions, that would actually be really bad for us. But we don't have any other tactics in our set right now, aside from these two, that let us have more than one long-range flotilla. They actually don't have enough, they don't have enough units enough command points in this fleet to use all 3 flotillas. So I'm kind of thinking of... Now, we can't... I was kind of thinking that maybe we could run a lot of the butchers in the 3rd flotilla where they'll be perfectly safe. But that has its own dangers, doesn't it? I certainly don't want to lose the marauders. How do I want to do this? This hero ship is missiles. This hero ship's probably really out of date. You know what? I think I'm just going to go ahead and accept this. It's not ideal, but it's better than reducing the damage from the weapon modules by 25% if it is in fact the case that... if it is in fact the case that armor works the way that I fear it might. Projectile defense, rather. And then who's going to go be in the middle fleet? Probably the Slicer and the Hero, because the Hero ships can't actually die. Then we'll split these 2 up. Hopefully that'll be confounding to them enough. And I kind of want to keep the Marauders out of combat as much as possible. They are not here to fight. They're here to bombard the planet with what I assume is radioactive shrapnel. Come on, just run away. You don't even want to fight. I didn't turn on watch. Okay, so we killed the Spirit, we lost a Butcher, almost another Butcher, and we almost defeated the Spectre. Hold on. I want to watch how the battle actually goes. We know the result. It's a little spoilery, but I want to have a look at this. On the whole, this is a massively positive result for us. Really, really bad news for the Riftborn. I think who are hoping to be able to keep their ships around until they've been reinforced a little bit more. Hold on a second, actually. Let me swap back in here. I do think the Riftborn ships look incredibly cool. Let's skip to the action here. This is not a great matchup for us. That was over quickly. So yeah, you can see they're not, the railgun weapons are not intercepting any of the missiles. We're getting a lot of stuff bouncing off their shields, though. Impacting on the shields, rather. We are seeing the missiles go straight through, right? Like, the graphic here is actually that the missiles hit the shields and they cause a splash effect, but then they go all the way through to the body of the ship. So I kind of wonder if I'm misunderstanding how shields work. I thought they were just flat damage reduction, that they just caught attacks, and you did damage to the shield before health, and then the shield recharges periodically over combat. Okay, well, I mean, that's pretty much the story of that one, and then we just couldn't muster the damage to get through the incredibly high health pool. Yeah, really, really bad for them. When we attack next turn, it's going to be sad. And we lost very little of our sieging power. I think the Butchers only have 1 siege module each. There is another Spectre over here. That's something to be concerned about. Okay, apparently this guy's free spacing. He's not actually moving along that that line, although I thought he was. All right, yeah, we're working quickly toward the defeat of the other players that we're already on top of the capitals of, and it's just a matter of finding the Unfallen. So who do we want to leave behind to play defense over here? These guys should start moving in, trying to find the Unfallen capital. I want to leave at least 1 Annihilator behind. You know what? Maybe this is the fleet that stays in defense. It's certainly not weak. Okay, yeah, they just have appropriately named ships here. Just a bunch of junk, basically. And over here on Musis, we really, really don't want to do any chain ganging. Okay. Did I miss one? I guess I must have. Okay, Duce could do some chain gang. Wait, is Duce only happy? How did that occur? You know what? I don't even care about it enough to fix it. At this point, that feels like micromanaging. We have galactic scale problems. I can't be too upset about the fact that the people of Duce are only very, very happy. What is this? Oh, hey, we did the thing. So we have access to the strat recycler now, which we may or may not actually use at all. Prowlers fighting prowlers. We have no retreats from here. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. Well, let's close in and shoot at them. Actually, our prowlers are like weird mid-game, medium-range energy prowlers. I don't think I have a strategy where the middle flotilla is at medium range. What a strange ship. Let's go for... shield absorption? That might work. We definitely don't need to watch this. Alright, well, we gave as good as we got. It's almost like the Unfallen don't actually want the war to end. Come to me with these offers. Hey, if you just give us all your stuff, we'll calm down. What contribution could you really make to the war effort? I think it's to continue chain ganging. Also, Might of the Endless, right. Might of the Endless will actually really help the war effort. Ingress is pretty far away from everything at this point. It's really, really good at building ships, but it doesn't actually need to build a lot of ships. I don't want to waste titanium on butchers, so yeah, I think you are also a planet cracker for a while. A lot of what we're doing here is just moving already extant ships into appropriate positions. So much of our stuff is too far away from the front for it to be anything else. Alright, these siege ships will be very helpful. I guess I should attack this fleet. There's no reason to let these guys just run through. And then Ash. We could make some of these movement speed boosting marauders. What's the status of this fleet's movement? We actually have quite a few of them already. Yeah, we probably don't need to do that then. Man, what do I want to do over here? We could do this, I guess? Just improve our science output somewhere. I'm not even going to bother min-maxing that. I don't think it's necessary. This is the only place that's close enough to the front that like the ships built here will actually be really useful. So I suppose fabrication license is a good way to go. Alright, we need a few more turns on that. We're probably ready to take out the Yui homeworld by now. It turns out it's easy to win competitive quests that are about resource creation when you have everybody's home system. Alright, well, let's send this guy running as well. We are under attack absolutely everywhere. The battle at Musis is more interesting. Hold on, we'll save that for a second. This is a total... I don't understand this move at all. Okay, that actually wants to be a medium. Do some long medium stuff here. Put the... Sorry, I gotta swap these. Put the large ships out like this. We don't need to watch this. Probably, yeah, that's gonna be a pretty short fight. Didn't manage to take anything over. It all got killed. You should just retreat, I guess? Hold on. Show me this. You're dead. Okay, well. Bad luck. The good news is we have this ship sneaking in, managing to get past the bottleneck. This is a good defensive position for them. Do note, though, they're 10 maximum command points per fleet. That bodes pretty poorly for them. Well, go out swinging. It is our way. Oh, they attacked us at Mizar. I was considering doing that. Well, that's just suicide. I guess it's not totally suicide. We get the ship, right? Oh no, they attacked us and then retreated? Curious. Very strange maneuvers. Alright, this should be a pretty straightforward one. Not getting any more captures here. Alright, if the people of the galaxy really need to team up, the only way they're going to beat us is by teaming up on us. Okay. Let's just put an end to that nonsense. You do not get to blockade my my whole system with a single ship that has a single gun on it. Yeah, we might be able to just drop here now. I see no reason, I guess, at this point not to wait for Might of the Endless. Let's check the UE planet. I think the garrison should be gone. And we can wait one more turn. May as well just let it all bleed out. Do I want to incorporate this dreadnought into our fleet? No, the dreadnought's going to hang out and guard Omdor, probably. Yeah, I don't think this is a situation where I want to leave my Annihilator behind. Although, actually, given the state of the galaxy, maybe this fleet never goes anywhere again. Maybe Omdor's their last stop. Okay, so show me this. This matters a little bit. They have a lot of ships. Nobody could doubt that. They actually have bullet weapons, which is dangerous for us. We have no retreat, so we're definitely fighting. Yeah, this is pretty dangerous, actually. This might work for them. Well, let's reduce weapon module damage and maybe pull the Annihilator out of mid. Move it to one of the sides. Again, just trying to make sure that I'll have the firing arc I need to take stuff over quickly. Yeah, I'm a little concerned about how this is going to go. We might lose this battle. We're set up enough on Musis that I think it's going to be very difficult for them to take it back if they do manage to wipe out our defense force here, but we may have to reinforce. We certainly can't sustain an infinite assault. They keep bringing ships in from other places, you know. Alright. So we're starting at long range everywhere. Their ships are going to deal very poor actual damage during this phase of the fight, but we're going to have a hard time getting our docking pods through, or boarding pods, rather. In fact, it looks like nothing got through in the first volley. Everything still got full manpower. So some of the stuff's not getting blown up in the air, but it's doing that thing where it makes contact but doesn't do anything. So yeah, we're gonna start taking damage here. Let's zoom back to overhead. Where are we at? Medium now? Yeah, I think we're going to lose this ship. None of the boarding pods are getting through. They successfully teched against us. That's a shame. Yep, you can see them all exploding in the air there. I'm assuming that the fact that some of them are getting through and making contact doesn't represent the underlying logic of what's happening in the battle. It's just the visual effect is occurring. Well, This fleet can run, and I think probably should. Alright, we're still putting stuff together over here, and I think it's time for Ingress to put together a defense. And we can come at them with a bunch of their own ships. It'll take us 5 turns to get over there, but yeah, start working on it. That fleet can at the very least be a good distraction. What do I want to do with these guys? See, what I think we might want to do here is have Ingress design us and start building us a new Queen-class ship that is not boarding pod based, and that in fact is energy weapons. And then we mix these into the defense fleets around the planets. We could go for bombers. No, but bombers are weak against bullet weapons. The enemies are already leaning toward bullet weapons because of the boarding pods, so let's counter-build something that is not negatively affected by the bullet weapons. So the advanced positron beam is nice because of the versatility. 51 DPS with a 19% critical hit chance is not bad. This does kill crew when it hits, which I like a lot. How much? Wow, that's a lot of antimatter. Do I want to throw some bullet weapons in to just serve as flak defenses because the enemies are really getting into bombers and fighters and stuff? Probably not. You know what? Their bombers are weak and bad. We could put blast effect batteries on the ships. All right, move this to this slot. Put a blast effect battery in the large weapon. We are mostly getting attacked by large fleets of smallish ships, you know, mediums and smalls. So maybe this is a good way to go. That almost doubles the construction cost of the ship, though. Well, you know what? If we're going to be building these things on that particular system, though, that's probably fine. It's really good at building stuff. Do we have a... We do not have an enhancer for energy damage. That's a shame. Let's do one of those, and then I think we probably do want to pull back a little bit on the antimatter. We're generating a lot of antimatter, but 37 per turn is maybe enough. So we'll go with basic defenses because these things are going to be too expensive to produce otherwise. What kind of... Oh, well, engines, obviously. Actually, multiple engines. Want these to be able to get into defensive position fast. They don't need siege modules, so maybe we... Probably want to max out the weapons. Do I want another adamantium weapon? Or antimatter weapon, rather? It might be a good idea for us to bring something else in this slot. A shield interference beam. You know, I've never ever used one of these. Oof, that does... We already have to pay adamantium just for the hull. We probably shouldn't put more adamantium into the ship. Alright, I'm going to go for a relatively less powerful laser weapon just to cut down on strategic costs a little bit. And then this will be the... that's pretty low effort and very anime, but we'll take it. Ingress, produce for me a beam fortress. 5 turns, man. If Ingress takes 5 turns to do it, I don't even want to try building one of these anywhere else. But Ingress can build 2 of them, right, and send one of them to defend Muzis, the other one to defend Omdor. Omdor is going to be a fortress with that dreadnought there as well. Okay, obviously you have to leave. I don't know why you thought it was okay to come over here. This fleet is heading in the general direction of Zorak. We are 2-3 turns away from the arrival of the first wave of siege ships, and then another turn away from the arrival of the next ones. So Horatio should be going down pretty soon. Still working on this. This fleet's pretty large, or this fleet's manpower is pretty large. We could probably do that pretty soon. As soon as we unlock Might of the Endless. That's a decision that I'd already made, actually. I don't know why I'm still talking about it. Alright, everybody just get to Zorak. Get to Zorak however you have to. Okay. I know I said this was going to be for internal defense, but over here counts as internal. Make sure we catch that guy trying to come through. Just out of curiosity. Oh, Viatris has actually gotten pretty good at building as well, I suppose. Oh, check this out. 55% content. What? What is going on? Oh, all my laws are still there. Okay, most people are still deliriously happy. Okay, obviously not on Liesel. Liesel has good reason to be temporarily miserable. We'll deal with it. They don't have Xeno-industrial infrastructure. That is a real thing. How is this... Man. Can you imagine? Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and rush that on Liesel. That'll speed up construction of our new glorious society tremendously. Oh, that was pretty loud. Was that like a whole lot of notifications popping at the same time with all the sounds playing on top of each other? Yes, it was. Oh, all those population boosts ended. Sure. We'll deal with that. You... Increasing the food output of her system increases the manpower output of our empire. Passive manpower output is a pretty good thing for us. Okay, this happened. We did not participate. I have no interest in intercepting the photobombers, whatever. He is beneath our notice. So here on Viatris, we have a little bit more approval now. I think for the moment... Hey, you know what? Let's go ahead and build one of these. We'll send it out in this direction. Oh, this is a cunning trick. We can only destroy one of them. Let's blow up yours. Alright, let's solve our population problem here. So we have 174 cravers. Which means we need to get 125 dark glitter from the marketplace, which we probably can do. $33K, they say. Well... We're going to start researching Quadronix weaponry soon. I don't necessarily want to unload all that stuff. We're definitely not using this. Or these space potatoes. Good enough. Alright, that's got to keep running forever. I don't want to double this because I actually want to build up the drift buds, but I think a lot of these other factions we can double up their stuff because that's not worth it. That's not really valuable, but also like the cost for upgrading it is so low. Do we really only have 3 Lumeris population? Hold on a second. The Lumeris home system only had 3 Lumeris on it? Wow, yeah, it had mostly been taken over by Remnant and Nashest. Weird. Okay, obviously this is not okay. They are attempting to challenge us. My suspicion is they will run. Yeah. Okay. A couple of frigates, not a real concern. They're over here manipulating time, and somehow they just can't keep me from blowing up all of their people. You would think that that would be included in the time manipulation stuff. Let's see if we can catch this guy in the act of... Oh, he's an... Huh. He's a settling ship. Actually, I think he's going to here. We can probably catch him there. You guys just sit here and defend. It actually looks like their fleet has fled Musis. It's split into a couple of pieces and fled Musis. I don't know what the point of that was if they weren't even going to try to take the planet from us. And you know what? I'm going to wait one more turn. We're going to... Oh, no, I'm not. I was going to say, we're going to preserve as much of our manpower as possible. But again, this fleet probably doesn't ever have anything to do after this, so we may as well just start this right this second. Surprise! Also, we lost 4 tanks. It's not like it was a big deal. Okay, so... Good news for us. How do you not have... I guess I can understand you not having AI labor. No, you know what? No, not really. Also, unexplored curiosities? What are you doing out here? What do you people do all day? Wow, Garden of Eden in your home system, huh? That's pretty lucky. And strange fossils? Geez, we should get starts like this. Alright, so that stuff's all under control. We have this well defended. Alright, let's go ahead and end the turn. We're going to get Might of the Endless, and then we're going to initiate the Siege of Juyin. My suspicion is this will be a ground assault that lasts 1, maybe 2 turns. And we're going to start researching Quadrinix weapons, which will be exciting, because I never ever build those. This dude's out here trying to run a system, but without really having any more useful skills toward doing so. We've discovered what now qualifies as a small amount of dust, and also some XP for ships. When you explore a curiosity that gives XP on ships via the system menu, is that XP just wasted? Or does it go to every ship in the system, or... I have no idea how that works. So hold on, before we do any building... Okay, it's energy weapons that are made of Quadrinix. That's a little bit of a shame. But yeah, I think we should definitely take this. 3 turns until programmable Quadrinix. Honestly, not really that much better than the ones we have now. Oh, except flotilla collateral damage received. These ones don't do... Yeah, okay. So a large fleet all firing Quadrinix weapons is doing tons of splash damage all over the place. That's actually super powerful. I would like to rescind my complaining.
Unfallen is like...
You slaughter the innocent and burn that which did not harm you. You know you've attacked me twice, right? I have no idea what this guy is talking about. What this tree guy is talking about. Also, how he's talking? He's a tree. Is it like... Is it psychic? Am I just perceiving his speech because he's projecting it into my head or something? Alright, I do believe they are going to find themselves unable to stop us. Oh, you know what? Blitzing's not actually useful here. We don't have enough manpower to even hit our manpower cap. I'm gonna blow a bunch of them up with preemptive bombing? No, this is gonna bring our manpower limit down too much. Guerrilla might actually be the play here. I want all 1,320 of my guys to participate in this battle. Yeah, okay. Overwhelming, just absolutely brutal defeat. Well, things are looking up for us. This fleet might honestly just stay where it is. Where's that, this guy? You are getting redirected. Over here, I probably don't want to start the siege just yet. I mean, we have siege reinforcements coming in. And you know, the AI is starting to put up a little bit of a fight. Like, we've actually had to flee a couple of times here. You know, you can just stop right there next turn, actually. That'll be fine. I do want this guy to fall all the way back to Ingress for repairs. And I guess this Annihilator's just going to cross? Why not? We don't really have anything else to do with it. I'm not sure what the smart play is here. That is a very large logistics feat. 627 food. I mean, that's not still going to be there when I get there. Never mind. So you know what? I should have him go to Carius and wait. He should not try to cross that by himself. He's going to get blown up. We'll meet up at Carius and we'll head to Zorak together. Oh, I have a whole bunch of systems that would maybe like some orders. Esh is a fine place to do this, actually. It's on the front border of our empire, so the influence isn't going to go to waste at all. It has a lot of population, so there's going to be a lot of influence. We're probably going to have to cut this law. I'm going to cut it right now. That's not even close to the button for that. Alright, we can put Spoils of War Act back on. You know what? I'm going to lower ship cost. Because these beam fortresses are actually really expensive. I almost never run that law in the late game. But it's probably worth doing. Okay, Mintaka desperately needs more places to expand to. This system's in kind of a rough spot. Despite having been a player's home system, you know, the rules are a little bit different. Definitely pick that up, and then this, and you're climbing toward Happy quickly. We can probably give that a little bit of a push. Then we need to expand mining, because of course the Adamantian is not in an acceptable place. And with that, I believe we're... No, oh yeah, Julian, right. New system, new rules. I'm actually fine with these, I guess. Yeah, whatever. Should probably fix that Ice 10 problem, though. Alright, let's do one more turn, and then we'll call it for the day here. So I think we're probably not going to attack Horatio just yet. We're gonna let the siege ships show up and work for a couple of turns. We don't need to wait too long, but I want to make sure this fleet has plenty of manpower, because this is going to be following us through to Zorak soon enough. It's true, I am close to achieving victory supremacy. How close am I on conquest? I shouldn't be terribly... Oh yeah, okay, we hit the halfway point. 7 out of 9 with 1 under active siege.
Anger of the unfallen.
I think stunned and inconsolable is a good thing for the heart to be right now. It shows that the heart is paying a small amount of attention to what's happening. Do I want to truce with you? I'm not in any danger down here, I don't think. And we actually already have systems that are not at full approval, so I think the answer to that question is no. I don't think I care about being at war with him. Or rather, being at war with him is purely positive for me. Alright, she finally has her plus damage skill. They are desperately trying to shove us off of Mizar. Oh, we ran into a fleet on Wyrix. Hold on. Let's attack here. Obviously, you need to leave. Let's have a look at this Wyrix situation. So we do have an Annihilator here. I mean, admittedly, this fleet is much weaker than some of our others. Some of these ships are not real ships. And they have energy weapon imposers and... Okay. This is actually a really bad matchup for them. A lot of them are going to get caught by the Annihilator. Let's move the Butchers into mid. Run the Annihilator and the Cordyceps along the side. And we don't need to watch this. I think we all know how it's going to go. Hey, look at that. We gained an Exactor. One more ship to bring to bear against the Unfallen. They should be very upset about this. I doubt they really know what's happening out here, but Horatio is definitely doing things that are going to lead to the accelerated downfall of their civilization. We may as well merge these up. And I don't have my command point. Alright, 137's better. We're getting there. This is getting under control. I'm not sure that this... Like I said, I'm not sure this fleet's ever leaving either. I don't know that it would get over to Unfallen territory fast enough to matter. Alright, Mintaka and Varen need some new orders. We should definitely fix the stuff we can fix. We're already ecstatic here. We don't really need extra mining tech. our passive manpower production is actually totally fine. So these planets should probably be specialized. Yeah, sure. And then, I guess fabrication license? We don't really have a lot to build here. But we can use the fabrication license to feed more food into planet cracking. And finally, over here on Varen, we finally finished a lot of the basic science stuff. You guys are probably planet cracking pretty soon as well. Just need to focus on continuing to upgrade our weapons tech at this point. Although, honestly, it may not end up mattering too much. A lot of the ships we have out here are never going to be in friendly territory again. So upgrading the weapons tech has somewhat limited value. And let's run a lot of dudes off. Well, now, isn't that interesting? That's the front of a ship, right? They're moving this way? They're probably headed to here? Okay. Maybe we should go for peace with the Riftborn just to, blunt the effectiveness of this sneaky little move they're pulling here. That's something worth thinking about, I suppose. You know what? I will think about it. I will develop a plan. And you'll get to see what that is next time, of course. Thank you all so much for watching. Like I said, come back next time to see how this sneaky little Riftborn gambit turns out. And we'll see you then.